Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is gonna be a great and useful one to all of you my dusky beauties. I've got some really good blush options for you all, starting from rupees 160 and going up until rupees 2750. I've got quite a number of blush options for you dusky girls out there. I know you have been requesting me to create this kind of a top 10 or my favorite blushes and stuff like that on my channel. I have a whole series of foundation, concealer, compact powders and loose powders on my channel, and as well as liquid blushes as well. So here I am with a powder blush collection. I've tried to incorporate different shades of blusher as well to wear according to the looks and which looks great on dusky skin tone. If I sound a little low in today's video, that's because I've not been keeping up that well. My health has been on the toss from a couple of months. The weather is really playing up with my health a lot. So yeah, that is that. So the first blusher that I have is one of my absolute favorite, as well as it is most used in my makeup collection as well. I have featured this particular blush in a lot of my makeup tutorials. It is none other than the Colorbar Cheekillusion blush in the shade Bronzing Glaze, which looks like this. It's a beautiful earthy terracotta kind of a blusher color. It's mostly matte. I would say 95% matte and a 5% of sheen is definitely there in this blush. But when you apply it on your skin, it doesn't really emphasize any texture or anything. The finish of this blusher is also absolutely beautiful on the skin, blends very effortlessly on the skin. It is very well pigmented, but you can slightly tone it down if you go a little ham with the blush application. This particular color, Bronzing Glaze, literally goes with any makeup look that you create, whether it's a warm look or a cool look or neutral, whatever color it is. This blusher goes really well with all of your makeup looks. So if you want to pick just one blusher and not hoard too many of blushes, then this could be a great option for you all. A similar blush option lined up as well, which you can just invest if you do not want to invest in a lot of blushes, and just keep one blusher and use it for all of your looks. So this is one, and I'll show you another one as the time comes. Also, it is deep enough to show up on our dusky complexion, and it looks absolutely beautiful on any dusky skin tones. I've also got another blusher from the same range, and this is also one of my favorites. This is the Colorbar Cheekillusion blush, the shade Sweet Scarlet, which is like a slightly deeper shade than the shade Bronzing Glaze. This one has a little bit of that burgundy touch to it. Again, if you have a really rich melanin complexion, this would look absolutely amazing and show up pretty well. The finish of both the blushes are pretty much the same. Both of these blushes last pretty well in Indian weather conditions. The next blusher is one of a very popular brand in India, which is Maybelline, and this one is a pretty new launch in India. I'm talking about the Maybelline Fit Me Blusher in the shade Passionate. I absolutely adore the packaging. It's a color-coded packaging, so you can exactly see what shade of blush is present inside. It's in a square packaging, and when you open it up, you've got the blush here. So this is a very unique kind of a blusher tone that I have come across. So it's basically like a mauve with a little hint of a pink, as well as a very slight hint of peach as well. It's like a mixture of all these three colors, but mostly it comes off as a mauvey, plummy kind of a tone. This is what I have on my cheeks right now, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, especially when you pair this particular blusher with cool tone makeup looks like this one. It looks really beautiful. The pigmentation of the blusher is pretty good. It's not as intense as the Colorbar blusher, but it's very easy to work with, you know. If you're a beginner, you would really like working with this particular blusher because again, it blends very beautifully on the skin and very easy to handle. And this particular blusher is completely matte. It has a very velvety, matte, smooth consistency and texture. There is no sheen whatsoever. So even if you have textured skin like I do, this will be a great blusher option for you. Alright, the next blusher that I have is a very affordable one, and this one is from Blue Heaven. This is the Shimmer Matte Blusher, and the shade that I have is called 503. The name of this particular blusher is very contradictory because it is shimmer and matte. How can one put shimmer and matte in one? I really don't understand, but it is what it is. So the shade of this particular blusher is like a orangey red tone. When you look at it like this, it mostly looks like a matte blush, but it's not. It's got very tiny little golden flecks in it. I'm not sure if you can make out from the finger swatch. Can you see that slight sheen of gold on my finger? So that's how the blusher translates on the skin as well. It is very well pigmented and it has got a golden sheen along with it. So it's like a blusher and a blush topper mixed in together kind of a product. So if you like that kind of a dewy, sheeny finish on the cheeks, especially people with drier skin types would like and prefer such kind of a finish on their skin, then this could be a great option. And even on my oily skin, it does pretty well as well. And also, if you have a budget constraint, you can totally check out the Blue Heaven Shimmer Matte Blushes. They have quite a bit of shade options with them as well. The texture is a little bit rough. It's not as smooth as the other blushes that I'm showing you in today's video, but this is priced at only 160 rupees, so I really can't complain much. And the fact that they have got a darker shade for duskier skin tones, I really applaud them. Some of the other better brands do not even have blusher options for duskier skin tones. So yeah, that is that. So look great with your warmer looks such as golden or bronzy or coppery kind of look. Staying power of this blusher would be approximately 3 to 4 hours. So yeah, please keep that in mind. The next blusher that I have is also one of my absolute favorites in my entire blush collection, which is none other than the K Beauty Matte Blush in the shade Soft Nude. Oh my god, this is such a beautiful shade. Unfortunately, my blusher has shattered into pieces. It just fell right on my lap. I have to clean it up immediately to clean up the mess. But yeah, I hope you can see the shade. It's like a mix of coral, a nudie color and a little hint of brown in it. So that's what makes it workable and beautiful on brown skin tones. This particular blusher shade works on all different kinds of skin tones, from really fair to really dark. It is extremely well pigmented, super velvety, smooth, matte texture and finish. Whenever I'm in a doubt, I would just go and pick up this particular blusher. It's that kind of a blusher. Literally goes with any look that you create, be it warm, cool, neutral, whatever. It just livens up your face so beautifully. And also this particular blusher stays pretty well on the skin as well. If you're in a doubt in what kind of blusher you must choose from the K Beauty collection, just go with Soft Nude. It is such a universally flattering color. The K Beauty products have some or the other natural ingredients infused in them, so they add benefits for your skin as well, which is great. I love everything about this blush, from how it feels on the skin, how easy to apply it is on the skin, and the longevity and everything is 10 out of 10 for this particular blusher. Yeah, apart from the Colorbar Cheekillusion blush in the shade Bronzing Glaze, this is another one of my absolute top picks. I also totally forgot to mention that the K Beauty blushers have a nice size mirror inside it, so it's very handy when you're traveling to do your entire makeup. I generally use these K Beauty compact powders and blushes to do my makeup when I'm traveling because they are quite handy. So the next blusher that I have is from Sephora. This is Sephora's in-house makeup brand, which is Sephora Collection. So this is how the packaging looks like. I absolutely adore the packaging. So this is just called Colorful Shimmer Blush, and I've got this in the shade. The packaging, again, it is color coded, so you can exactly know what shade of blusher is present inside. So this is like a beautiful bright orangey coral kind of a blusher color. I'll put the exact shade name on the screen somewhere. I cannot find it at the back of the packaging, but it is such a gorgeous blusher. One also has a very faint shimmer in it. It doesn't come off as shimmery on the skin, but it definitely leaves a beautiful sheen on the skin, which looks very healthy and natural. It just makes you look more healthy. This one was a little bit on the expensive side, but it is such a beautiful blusher options for my dusky skin tone girls, so I wanted to include this in today's video. Now I've got a super affordable and great quality blusher from Sugar Cosmetics. I've got them in 2 different shades and they both look really amazing on dusky skin tones. So let me share what those shades are. So the first one is the Contour Depot Mini Blusher in the shade Salmon Superstar. This is just around rupees 300 or 350, and during sale you can also find them at a much cheaper price. It's a very cute little packaging. It's a cardboard packaging, by the way, and has a magnetic closure, and inside you've got the blush. The blusher is not super huge. It's probably like a bigger sized eyeshadow kind of a blusher, but you really don't go through a blusher like you do with foundation or compact powder. You just need the tiniest amount to apply it on the cheeks. So yeah, this is the shade Salmon Superstar, which is a kind of a muted reddish toned blusher with a hint of brown in it, and it is completely matte. Not the most softest formula, but it is pretty decent in my opinion for what you pay. Pigmentation is also great, shows up amazingly well on dusky skin tones, which is super important to me. And yeah, I really love this blusher. It can go amazingly well with all your warm makeup looks, and it is completely matte, no shimmer at all. Next blusher color from the same range is Mauve Marvel, which is another favorite of mine, which is like this deep, almost like a plum toned blusher. The finish and everything is exactly same as the Salmon Superstar shade, completely matte, but again, even if you have a slightly deeper complexion than me, this particular shade Mauve Marvel will show up pretty well on your skin. And yeah, I really like this blusher a lot as well. The next blusher that I have is from one of my favorite brands, which is Forever 51, and it is a very underrated brand. They have some really kick-ass makeup products with them, and this is one of them. This is their Cheek Pop Blusher. Just look at the packaging. It is a humongous packaging for a blusher. So it's like a tin packaging, and inside got this beautiful blusher inside with a really good size mirror. Again, comes in very handy whenever you travel. So this is the shade Sweet Pink. This is the shade Sweet Pink, and I totally agree with their shade name. It's a beautiful pink toned blusher for dusky skin tones. Sometimes pink blushes won't look that amazing on dusky skin tones, but this one is a great one. So that makes it really beautiful for dusky skin tones. It also has a slight undertone of coral as well, which makes your face look more awake and bright. And sometimes cool tone blushes can make you look super dull. That is not the case with this particular blusher. It is extremely pigmented, super soft, very blendable on the cheek, and even if you go ham with this blusher, it is very much possible that you go ham with this blusher, because I myself have encountered that situation a lot on myself. But saying that, it is extremely easy to slightly tone it down just using a powder brush or something, and it stays put through the entire day. This particular range of blushes also have a couple of options to choose from. You can definitely explore the blusher range from Forever 52 in this particular range. It's a beautiful one, and also this is probably the biggest size of blusher that I have in my entire collection. So this is not gonna go anywhere soon. It's not very easy to finish up this blusher because it's a huge packaging and quantity. The next blusher that I have is from L'Oreal Paris. This is their Le Bar blush in the shade City Explorer. This is also one of my most favorite blushes. I'm saying this to a lot of blushes, but trust me, this is also a very beautiful blusher option. But it is a gorgeous option if you like a little bit of a dewy kind of a blusher on your dusky skin tone. So this is in the shade City Explorer, and here's the packaging. I love a blusher packaging with a mirror, you guys. It comes in super handy. So that's how the blusher looks. Not a great quantity for a blusher, but still it is pretty decent. So it doesn't look too intense of a blusher shade right in the packaging, but when you put it on the skin, it comes off as a reddish coppery kind of a color with little flecks of gold in it. You can apply this blusher as is on its own, or you can use it as a blush topper. That way it looks really beautiful on the skin and leaves that beautiful sheeny looking finish. Today for my look, I have topped this particular blusher on top of the Maybelline blusher that I applied, and as you can see, it looks very beautiful, healthy and sheeny on the skin, which I absolutely love. It's got that sheen, but it doesn't really emphasize the texture too much, which I really like about this blusher. If you are closer to my skin tone, this blusher will look really nice, but if you have even more deeper complexion than me, I'm not really sure how this would translate and show up on your skin tone. The next blusher is also a shimmery one, but it is such a potent blusher. So I'm talking about the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Red Vino, and as you can see, it is a straight up red blusher. Here it is. The packaging is super luxe, but it's slightly bulky, so even when I'm storing this particular blusher in my blush rack and container, it's very difficult for me to store. But saying that, the blusher is an incredible blusher. You just need a tiny touch with your brush and just apply it on the skin, and it just translates so much on the skin so well, especially for dusky skin tones. There was a period when Luminoso was all the rage between all makeup lovers, but Luminoso can be a very pale shade. I have the shade Luminoso, but it doesn't show up at all on my skin. In fact, I use Luminoso as a subtle highlighter on my skin, so that's how light Luminoso is. But Red Vino is such a winner for dusky skin tones, and again, if you like that sheeny finish, then you would absolutely love it. And it is extremely pigmented. You have to be extremely careful with the application because it's slightly hard to take it down as well. And not only you can use it as a blusher, if you like a little bit of a wash of color on your eyes, you can just apply this particular blusher on the eyelids as well as a nice eyeshadow color. Again, Milani is not extremely affordable in India. I think it's priced around 1000 or 1200 rupees. So yeah, always buy your products on a sale, you guys. That saves up a lot of money. But this is one gorgeous blusher for my dusky girls. The next one is also a very well loved blusher in my makeup collection, and which is the Nykaa Blush Duo. This is the Get Cheeky Blush Duo in the shade Brazilian Bombshell. Pink one is called Rose and the other one is called Raisin. So basically you get two different shades of blusher in just one single packaging, which is really good. One is a cool tone pink shade and one is a warm terracotta-ish kind of a color. So you can use them individually or even mix them together to custom create your blusher color. But I always tend to reach up to this particular shade called Raisin a lot because these kind of tones work really well on dusky complexions. A lot of burnt terracotta colors look great on dusky skin tones. But whenever you wear cool tone looks, these kind of cool tone pinks can come in super handy. So if you do not want to splurge a lot of money on different shades of blushers, this could be a great option for you all. Sometimes also swirl my brush in both these shades and apply it on my cheeks. That way also it looks really beautiful on the skin. Again, the finish of these blushers are completely matte. There are no shimmer whatsoever and looks very beautiful on the skin too. These are not very extremely pigmented products, so even if you're a beginner, this could be very easy for you to handle. We are down to the final blusher option for my dusky beauties, and this one is a high-end product. And I absolutely love how it looks against dusky complexions. So I'm talking about none other than the M.A.C powder blush. M.A.C powder blushes are really beautiful. They have a variety of shades to choose from. So it can be a little confusing when you choose your blusher for the first time if you're on the duskier category, because I have purchased some of these M.A.C blushes in the past thinking that they are deep enough and would show up on my dusky skin tone, but they do not show up that well. But this one just impressed me. This is the M.A.C blusher in the shade Burnt Pepper, which is such a beautiful blusher color. It's a little bit of a red, a hint of plum, a little bit of a brown there. It's just a perfect color for my dusky beauties. Again, this kind of a blusher tone goes with literally any kind of makeup look that you wear. So if you're someone who is looking for a high-end makeup product, a high-end blush, you should definitely check out the Burnt Pepper blush from M.A.C Cosmetics. It's a beautiful one. It's like a very beautiful satiny kind of a finish, and it's quite pigmented as well, as you can see, but I love how it looks on my dusky skin tone, especially when you wear those natural and everyday makeup looks. This looks really beautiful on dusky skin tones. Again, this is completely matte, there is no shimmer whatsoever, so it won't emphasize your texture one bit. Packaging is a classic M.A.C packaging, a little bit bulky, but it is what it is. I highly recommend this particular blusher if you want to invest in a M.A.C blusher. So you guys, those were all of my favorite blushes that I use on and off. I love every single one of these blushes that I shared with you guys. I really hope that you guys found this very useful and helpful. I know you guys have been requesting me to create this particular video from a long time. I apologize for the delay. All of these blushes are great options for my dusky beauties, so you can pick and choose according to your needs. All the blushes that I mentioned in today's video will be linked in the description box. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video and found it useful and helpful. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, comment, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Make sure to hit the bell notification to get notified each time I upload a new video on my channel. Also follow me on my Instagram. I'll put the link in the description box. This is it. Take care of yourselves, and I shall see you guys soon in my next one. Bye.